I'm curious how I mean, you mentioned, 37 years, with a child with disability. How has technology changed in that time to make it either, I mean, I assume obviously easier, right? Like what's changed in 30+ years that's, when you first were in your living room trying to do this to now?
Yeah. So a neighbor, and by the way, there's a lot of L's. So L's team donated the entire network at Champions Place, which enables some things. And he did it without hesitation. His team does it without hesitation. And to this day, we call in and, we get responses immediately. But to go back, another friend went down to Georgia Tech with me to a place called Tools for Life back in 2015. And we were looking at what could we do for our son here at Champions. And this relates, while living at home with us. And this will bridge to Champions. So we landed on Google technology. So our son could all of a sudden say, hey, Google, turn on the TV, turn on ESPN, turn on TBS, turn on lights, call dad. So literally, he could not use a cell phone. So Nancy and I could go play 9 holes. I might get pulled off the course, but he would call us. He could communicate.
It's instant freedom for you.
Instant freedom for us. Listens to music, the kind of music, TV shows that he wants, when he wants, personal choice.
Independence,
self-reliance, right? And so the Champions Place story, then as Champions Place came in to become, vision became reality, we took that technology to Champions Place. So if you were to see a tour, you'd come into Champions Place and you'd yell out, hey, Google, turn on lights, and the family room lights go on, or hey, Google, turn on fire pit, and at night, the fire pit lights up, or turn on music. But if you go in the rooms, it's, and I got to watch this because I got one right next to me. If I said, hey, G, he's going to start talking. And I got an A over there. So anyway, you say, hey, G, open my blinds. Blinds open up. Operating the TV, phone calls, calling another room. So if you look over here, you see this is called a Google Hub Max. You see that on our counter? So Matt has one on his desk. And so we can communicate with one another. But here's where the Wi-Fi comes in. We've got incredible coverage around not only the common areas, but is it called VLAN? Is that what it's called? We have individual.
Yeah. We have some VLANs, yes, or individual networks for each individual, and that it's somewhat of an MDU, a multi-dwelling unit, right? Where you have multiple homes or residences all within one building, right?
Which is great for a number of reasons. One, when Matt says, hey, Google, open my blinds, Corey's blinds don't open, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's very reliable.
That choice just went away then versus having the choice.
Yeah, how'd that happen? Thanks, Matt, yelling down the hall. But so they have this self-reliance at Champions Place, and it's incredibly reliable. I think we've had in almost 2 years now, maybe one call, and it was a small piece of hardware, and it was flipped out like that. One's over in about 10 minutes. I'm exaggerating. He's over within a couple of hours. But so that is proven. So having a reliable, robust Wi-Fi network, not only in the common areas, but in all the different rooms and outside as well. So Champions Place is built, you got 16 people living there. So you need, obviously, common area, but you need some place to be alone. So we have screened-in porches, we have tables out back, we have a front porch, and no matter where you can go, you get a great signal, and we got coverage. And technology, to your point, Nick, it when you're disabled, it means even more to you. It's a connection for you. Corey talks to his girlfriend every day at 5 o'clock. I love to walk in on those calls. Just embarrass the heck out of them. But no, it makes a big difference. Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, the term you know, we do often use the term digital divide, but in this sense, it's actually a very different meaning. I mean, the division
Yep.
that is being able to be bridged with the technology for people with disabilities. That's, I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing.
But and for us, Rick, you know, selfishly, it is such a rewarding, you know, opportunity, right? For everybody that gets to be a piece of that, to help out however we can, right? It's everybody coming together to move the needle just a little bit, right? However we can. And you've got some great partners, you know, Tommy Hilfiger, right? Big partner. You want to kind of talk about that? I thought that was kind of cool. Some of the things that they're doing.
I'll talk about that, but I don't want to breeze by. Without hesitation, you did this, but it's not just you. A lot of times you can have somebody that has a company and it's maybe they themselves have that feeling. It's Kevin down to Juan. It's your whole team. Everybody just drops it and does everything they can to support us. And but yeah, Tommy Hilfiger. So we have a couple of. I talked about Google, and Google actually is donating the technology. I want to talk a little bit more about that in a second. I have a fraternity brother I played soccer with in college, and he is the CEO of Tommy Hilfiger USA, and they donated all the furniture.
Nice.
Also, we've done a lot of testing of technology for them and beta testing of clothing. So Tommy Hilfiger adaptive, so magnetic zippers and buttons and Velcro. Google, we've done some beta testing. So they've got a joint, a beta test. I won't tell you who, but it was a jean jacket. And there was an appliance in the sleeve, and you go like that and music would start. And then you go like that and the volume would go up. And so here's somebody that's physically disabled, and we're beta testing it. Like Natalie goes, that's great, except that arm doesn't work. I need it in this arm. You know? And they're going, oh yeah. So a lot of beta testing going on. So
you're a bit of it. You guys have become a bit of an incubator then. That's pretty amazing. Like people are coming to test things out there.
So that's amazing that you'd use that word, because that's what we say. Champions Place is a home, and we want to replicate it. And we're helping others, and we're engaged with about 15 different entities right now that have reached out and said, we don't have this in our town, city, community, and we'd like to replicate it. Number two, it's a social hub. So you know those Titans I was talking about?
Yeah.
So we used to have parties. So we have wheelchair sports, and they can look forward to that every other Saturday. We have a game tomorrow. If you guys want to come, 3:00. Nick, you're not local. Otherwise, I'd throw you in a chair. And then I tell our best players to shut you down. But so it's a social hub. So we also use Champions Place. I mean, we used to have Halloween parties and open mic nights in our driveway because we had an accessible bathroom and a ramp into the house. So we can do all that now at Champions Place. So last weekend we had a cookout. We had live entertainment. We had about 40 in wheelchairs, about 100, including parents. So it's a social hub, so we can serve the folks that, you know, these Titans that should be called champions. And then the third thing is this incubator idea. And so, yes, the clothing from Tommy Hilfiger, we gave that to the entire community, Titan community, and they all got free clothing. What we're doing next, and because of what we built together with Google and Al's team, this portfolio of smart devices that can operate a room, is we've started a new initiative called Champions Place at Home. So we are taking a core set of the technologies, and we're going to those Titans who are living at home. We can't build enough Champions Places, and we're automating their rooms. And we've done 3 pilots. And Kevin, who's 42 years old and is involved in our Titan community, lives about 3 miles from our house here in Johns Creek. And Kevin's quadriplegic. He lives in an apartment down in the basement of his parents. And we just finished setting up. We are, you know, a buddy of mine, Paul Vaya, who's another Al Brown. He actually implemented the technology as a test to say, so number one, what technology would we put in a home? And then how would we implement it? So we are about to now go to phase 2, which is we're going to expand that throughout the Titan community. And we don't know where that could go, right? I mean, Google hears about that and they may want to go after this market segment with such an offering, right? So, Kevin, he can now, he can't move. He's a quadriplegic. So he would say in the middle of the night, he can call up his dad because they have one of those devices that I just showed you in upstairs, and wake up his dad and say, hey, Dad, I need your help. And by the way, I'm going to turn the lights on for you because he can.
That's awesome.
And Paul has figured out, hey, Google, open the door. And they got an automated thermostat.
You knew it was going to go off at one point.
One point. So anyway, you get the point.
Yeah.
So the impact of the incubator idea is very real. Yeah.
That's awesome.